Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that may otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
After the game, he waits outside the heroine's office to walk her home as usual. However, she gets delayed because her manager asks her to give a tour to a model visiting the company. When she finally finishes, she rushes out and hugs the waiting hero. As they walk, the hero confesses his jealousy and asks her not to joke around with her male colleagues. The heroine playfully cups his cheeks, calling him my little chick. The hero surprises her with a kiss on the cheek, making her happy. She hugs his arm as they head home. Once they arrive, they have dinner and discuss their plans to visit their families during the upcoming holiday. The next day, they go to the train station. The hero feels sad about not seeing her, but they promise to stay in touch and reunite soon. She tells him that she'd prefer to keep in touch and send him messages. They say their goodbyes. The heroine arrives at her parents' house and eats with her family. She takes pictures of the food and sends them to her boyfriend, sharing every moment with him, despite the distance. Meanwhile, the hero arrives at his home and helps his father. Later, they all sit down to eat together as a family. His mother asks him about the heroine, and his father is surprised to learn that there's a girl staying with him in the apartment. But his mother reassures him that they're just friends and there's nothing between them. However, the hero, with his fearless heart, confidently declares that they're in love and are now in a relationship. That's it. Our guy has finally got himself a girlfriend. Later, the hero calls the heroine. She's reluctant to show her face because she's disheveled and jokingly says she's worried her beauty might make his phone explode. But her mother walks in and tells her to take a shower and change her clothes because the smell is overwhelming the house. She even jokes that her brother fainted outside. The heroine is embarrassed by her mother's comments and the hero laughs, saying, "My phone really did explode." We then see the heroine celebrating New Year's Eve. The hero, who is still busy studying even during the holidays, tiredly calls her. She hears the sound of fireworks in the background. After 2 weeks, the heroine returns from her vacation. She's surprised that the hero isn't waiting for her, but then she sees him standing in front of her, riding a skateboard. She teases him, asking, "What's this all about? You've grown up? When did you learn?" That the hero takes her suitcase and says, "Let's go home. My little bunny." They keep sweet-talking each other throughout the series. Oh, poor single viewers, you've got to feel for them. When they get home, the hero hugs her and tells her he missed her. The heroine is overjoyed because she loves sweet talk more than anything. That night, the power goes out, and the heroine gets scared. But then our hero appears with a portable generator he invented himself. The heroine is impressed and admires his intelligence. After that, her laptop has a malfunction, so she takes it to the clever hero in his room to fix it. She waits for him but ends up falling asleep, this time on the bed, not on his shoulder. Thank goodness for that. A little variety is nice too. The hero finishes fixing the laptop, then goes over to check on her while she's sleeping. As usual, he takes her phone, covers her up, and lies down next to her on the bed so he doesn't disturb her. The next morning, they wake up to the sound of their families calling out for them. When they realize they're in the house, the hero quickly gets up from the bed, heads to his other room, and has to sneak in through the balcony window so their families don't get the wrong idea. He goes out to greet them warmly, saying, "What brings you here? It's great to see you all." They gather and start discussing their relationship, and the mother suggests taking the next step: engagement. They propose that the engagement happens today and the wedding can happen after they graduate. They start planning the dowry, the engagement ring, even the color of the walls and curtains. But the hero's mother points out that they forgot one important thing: asking their children what they want. The hero, speaking seriously, tells them that they're adults and know what they're doing, and marriage isn't in their plans right now because they're still studying. The heroine is shocked by his words, upset but doesn't show it, and remains silent. The hero's father agrees that they're still young and should be allowed to live their lives and enjoy themselves. The families then decide to leave. Meanwhile, the hero is sitting and waiting for his exam results, feeling tense. Fortunately, they find out they've passed, and Wong is so happy that she hugs Fubby in joy but then feels like she was too hasty and starts to pull away. But Fubby reassures her by holding her hand and hugging her again, deciding not to waste any more time. Later, the heroine is at work where a famous girl is filming a commercial. The girl treats the heroine dismissively, asking her to fetch tea and juice, and then calls her lazy. But then the well-known director steps in, forcing the girl to treat the heroine kindly, threatening to expose her as arrogant and conceited in the news. After filming ends, the arrogant girl invites all the staff to lunch to make amends. Being polite, the heroine calls her beloved to ask for permission. He agrees to pick her up in an hour. At lunch, the heroine drinks a lot because she's nervous, so much so that she can't even stand up. The famous guy tries to help her, but the hero arrives just in time, saying, "What's this, buddy?" "That's my girlfriend, it's not right." He picks her up and takes her home. When they get there, he tucks her in and leaves. The next day, the heroine wakes up, checks her phone, and quickly starts getting dressed, thinking she's late for work. But as she's about to leave, the hero asks, "Where are you going?" "Don't you even know that today's a holiday?" She feels pretty silly and says, "Well, I'll just go back to bed then," but he doesn't let her off the hook and scolds her for drinking too much the previous night, telling her not to make a habit of it and not to get too close to anyone at work. She agrees, jokingly saying, "Yes, sir, your orders are my command." She goes to change her clothes, and they have breakfast together. As they prepare for their graduation exams, the heroine attends the hero's graduation exam and watches as he confidently answers the professor's questions, feeling proud of him. When he finds out, she's proud of him too. She also mentions that she's planning to have lunch with her friends to celebrate their graduation. The hero says, "Fine, I'll treat you to lunch," and orders a lot of food so he doesn't come off as stingy. Her friends arrive, and they all eat together, having a great time. After lunch, the hero goes to pay the bill, but the meal turns out to be quite expensive. He ends up paying with everything he has on him, poor guy, until he's completely broke. Meanwhile, Pui is at a restaurant with his father, who introduces him to the daughter of a friend, hoping to set them up. But Pui responds coldly, saying he's already dating someone more beautiful. Just then, Wang arrives and he grabs her hand, introducing her as his girlfriend. His father gets angry, saying, "How dare you defy me? I'll cut you off financially." Pui ignores him and gets ready to leave. His father, enraged, throws a plate at him, but Wang shields him with her back, getting hit instead. Pui is touched by her act and checks if she's okay. She reassures him, and they leave the restaurant together. Later, the heroine is at home, telling the hero she's hungry. He gives her water to drink as he's out of money after spending it all on their meal. Then the heroine discovers a bag of pasta in the kitchen. She says, "That's it, I'm channeling my inner chef," and they manage to cook a meal together. The next day, they prepare for their graduation party. The hero wears his graduation cap, and the heroine helps him tie his tie, making him happy. When they arrive at the university, he leaves her with her friends, saying he'll go meet his labmates. The heroine notices Pui giving flowers to Wang, and all the guys seem to be doing the same for their girlfriends except for her. No one's paying her any attention, so she goes to find the hero to confront him. But at that moment, the hero is in the lab taking photos with his classmates and professor. When they finish, he goes to the library to send the heroine a message telling her where he is. However, when she arrives, she sees one of his female classmates fixing the tie that she had worked so hard on earlier that morning. Jealous and upset, she storms off. The hero follows her, trying to make up by giving her a bouquet of flowers, but she refuses to forgive him. Eventually, Pui and Wang grab her and force her to take a picture with the hero in the library. The hero mimics her gestures to make her smile, but she still walks away. He follows her to the sports field, trying to explain that he's innocent, and that his classmate acted on her own. He gets closer to her, and well, you know what happens next. The heroine finally gives in, saying they're even now, and they walk off hand in hand. After everything that happened, it was inevitable. They go to play, and the heroine teases him, saying, "Looks like you didn't learn your lesson from last time." He responds confidently, "Try me," but little does she know that our hero has improved and even surpasses her skills, managing to reclaim his honor by defeating her. Later, Wang is waiting for Pui outside their dorm. She sees his father and tries to talk to him, hoping to mend his relationship with his son,